Hello, my name's Elena and I'm here today to show you how to do some printmaking using materials that you can kind of find about your house. So this video is brought to you by Room for Art and I hope you enjoy. So first things first, we'll just go through a quick materials list. Firstly, you need a takeaway tub, polystyrene one preferably. It's totally fine as long as it's got a flat edge on one side. Secondly, you'll need a sponge. I've cut these, it's just a regular washing up sponge, but I've cut it into some little smaller sections just because that makes it a little easier. You'll need a pair of scissors. You will need a bit of paper. You'll need a biro. And you'll need some acrylic paint. So you could probably use any paint for this as long as it's not something that dries too quickly. So what I've got here, also one more thing, is you need a small kind of pointy object. I'm going to be using a cocktail stick just because that's what I have around my house. But if you do not have a cocktail stick, anything that's got a kind of small pointy edge, and that should be absolutely fine. So if you're ready to go ahead, then I'll get started. Okay, so here we go. Right, so what you want to be doing first is taking your takeaway container and you're just looking to make only one flat bit left. So I'm just going to use the wee scissors there, cut the edges as you can see. That's it, and I'm just going to break those off. Yeah, just get rid of them. You don't need the non-flat bits. They're not helpful for us. So, and at this point, I'm just going to tidy up the edge using some scissors. So just straightforward. Just leaving yourself with a little square. So there we are, perfect. And then you want to be looking at what your design is going to be. As you can see here, I've gone for a little vase with a face, but it could be anything you like. Just try and keep it quite simple. So now, using the ballpoint pen, we are going to be copying the design onto the piece of polystyrene. And you don't want to be pressing very hard, pressing really lightly here, just so that you can get the design across. If you put any pressure on it, then whatever you push down will print in your final print. So we're not really looking for that at this point, we're just kind of copying the design across. There we are, so that's mine. Right, now it's time for the cocktail stick, or whatever pointy item you are choosing. And this is the point you want to press down all your lines. So I'm just going to go over everything. You want to take your time with this, be nice and careful, and just kind of slowly, obviously I'm speeding up here a little bit, but just slowly going over the lines. Any indent you make into the polystyrene will print when it comes to putting the ink on. So and the reason we're using a cocktail stick rather than the ballpoint pen here is it just gives you a little bit more control and you can put a bit of a finer line on it. So as I say, just going over, if you double up any lines, you'll get a thicker line. So that'll be really helpful. And I think with mine here, as you can see, I want to kind of get rid of this outside edge. You could push it all down, but who has time for that? So I'm just going to cut around the edge so that I've got my shape of my vase left. There we go. Fabulous. Right, now it is time. So you can see, has it got, double check it's got all the bits indented that you want. But now it is time for the paint. So as you can see here, I've just got a wee lid, spare lid, and I've got a bit of acrylic paint shoved onto it. And then using the sponge, I'm making a really thin layer. Can you see there? Not too thick. And I just want to dab that lightly onto the polystyrene. It's really important at this point not to do it too thickly because it will just fill in all the little bits you've splodged out with your cocktail stick. So just really lightly. I'm using 2 colours to give a bit of a gradient. But if you've only got 1, that is also absolutely fine, or 3, it's entirely up to yourself. So once you've done a nice even layer on that, you are going to get your piece of paper. Try not to get too many fingerprints, of course, and then you're going to take it, actually dried out a little bit in the corner. I'm just going to put a little bit more paint on that just to make sure it's damp. Not too much, but just a little bit. That's fab. And then basically really carefully, you want to be placing that face down onto your paper and then using your fingers, just pushing it down on all the edges. That's it. Pushing it down, make sure you get all the edges, otherwise you'll get some dirt. And then very carefully, you want to peel it off. Ta-da! And then you've got your print. And the joy of printmaking, of course, is that you repeat the process. So here we go. Repeat. I'm using different sponges for my different colours so they don't all muddle up, but there we go. Print number 2. Keep going. There we are. And then we'll go for print number 3. There we go. And that is a simple way to do your printmaking at home. So peeling carefully once again. And you can use this so many different times. It's as many times as you would like. And that is your final print. So there we are. So we hope you followed that okay. As you can see, I've got my final print here. So I'm quite pleased with it. I think the colours came out quite nicely. So give it a wee experiment. As I say, it's just using old takeaway tubs. And remember, if it's a used one, make sure you wash that before. Also, there's going to be a printable version of this guide to printmaking. So just ask out for that. And I hope you enjoy. And I hope to see you soon. Keep yourself safe and keep yourself well. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.